Well, hello again and welcome to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. I'm Tom. As always, I'm with my gorgeous, super smart, and Walt Disney World ticket booklet loving wife, Michelle. What's that about?
Vintage tickets.
Vintage ticket booklet.
Thank you, sweetie. Hi, everybody.
So good to have you with us. We are recording this episode, well, part of this episode on July 26th, Sunday, July 26th, 2020. We recorded another part of it on Thursday, July 23rd, I believe is what that would have been on 2020.
Yeah, so.
We'll get into that in just a little bit.
That's Thursday.
On Thursday. On a theme park Thursday.
I know.
If that might lead into what we're talking about today. Yes. Thank you for joining us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventurespodcast.com. And while you're there,
sign up for the newsletter.
Yes, please sign up for the newsletter. It's a way to kind of be in the Hyperion Adventures know, kind of follow along with what we're doing. We show various episodes that we have out in the recent time period. We give a Disney Dishes blog of the week recipe. And this week we dropped a little tidbit on you. If you subscribe to the newsletter, you got this first. We are starting to open up our categories for our Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame, and we want your input in that.
Our second annual
Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame. It's a very long name. We last year we did live action movies and characters and animated movies and characters. And we will continue with those categories this year as well, but we're looking for some other categories to extend it so it's even a more robust Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame. Yes, and we've already gotten some great input on it already, but we'd love your input. Hit us up through the various ways that I'm about to go through and let us know what you'd like for us to cover in our next Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it was really fun last year, and we loved the interaction with people. Got a lot of great feedback. Thank you, everybody, and looking forward to relaunching it this year.
Yeah, we will have a lot of fun with it, and it's very interactive, and at the end of it all, there will be some sort of giveaway for people that take part in this, so that's always fun as well. Now, here's how you can get a hold of us and just follow us along in various ways. We are very active on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Speaking of that, social media wise, I wanted to go back a little bit to last week's episode, our 5 favorite Disney I Want songs. We did get input from a very good friend of ours that we interact with very often on social media, Tony the Disney Dad, who you can find on Twitter at Disney_discuss. By the way, pouring one out for the Disney Discussions podcast. Hope they kind of called it I'm just going to say they put a pause in their show because they have a lot of stuff going on right now. Hoping that someday that'll eventually come back. But even whether they do or whether they don't, please go look up the Disney Discussions podcast because it's a great show. They still have all their old episodes up, and you can definitely check them out.
Yeah, they are amazing. We've been lucky to have them on our show as well, and you will love them.
Yeah, definitely will. Go check them out. And we will probably have them, even though they're not really doing the podcast right now, Tony, Sparrow, Stitch, his sons, we will probably have them back on our show at some point when they are available to do that. Now, back to what Tony sent us. He sent this on Twitter. Another great episode from Tom and Michelle, but I'm disappointed that no one mentioned one of the greatest I Want songs ever, Rainbow Connection from the Muppet movie. I'm like, oh yeah, how could we have forgotten that one? Tony, thank you for bringing that up because it's a very good point.
Definitely. Yeah. As soon as I saw that on Twitter too, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. How did we all?
Yeah.
But we all missed it.
So. That was just completely a miss on
Glad
our
he
part.
brought it up.
Yes, but thank you, Tony, for bringing it up. And that's why we said that at the end of last week's episode to go ahead and send us anything that, whatever songs you like, or if there's something we missed, definitely we want to know about it because we just didn't think about it. And that's definitely a good one we missed. And by the way, I also want to mention we did make good on our promise. We did watch Newsies last week. and enjoyed it very
Oh my
much.
gosh,
We
yeah.
had a great
Loved
time. Yeah, wasn't it good?
It was good. It's like, really, why did we hesitate?
What took us so long? Yeah. So we did make good on that, and now Newsies is going to be a regular rewatch in our household for sure, along with Hamilton, which is it's basically on repeat in our household.
Yeah.
But, you can also find us on YouTube. We do put out videos, a lot of these episodes through video on YouTube as well. And if you want to find us there, just do a quick search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast at YouTube. We'll come right up, hit subscribe, and then whenever we have a new video, you will know, and you can watch it, or you can listen to it, or you can do both. It's kind of fun. Last week, yes, I did put the portion of me lip syncing to Let It Go with my fun gestures and everything. So if you haven't checked that out yet, you probably should go and just at least look at that part, because it's fun and a little bit embarrassing for me.
No, you did great. It was fun. And yeah, you won't want to miss it. It's good. It's really good.
It's fun. And of course, if you ever want to connect with us to suggest some of these categories for the Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame or anything else, you can always email us or hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
Right. And, like you said, you could give us some information about that. Or if you have any questions for us, anything we've talked about that may not have come across clear, we want to clarify any of your questions, any ideas, suggestions, or just some feedback for us. How you like the podcast? What would you like to see different? Or, what really is the best parts of the podcast?
Yeah, we just kind of want to know, but mostly we just want to have a way to be in touch with you if there's any reason that you want to get a hold of us for anything. If you just want to say hi, once the parks reopen, well, I guess Walt Disney World's reopened, but we don't get there as often as we'd like.
Although we have something planned.
We do have something planned. But once Disneyland reopens, if you're going to Disneyland, let us know. If our schedules mesh, we would like to connect with you out there at some point.
Right.
So let us know. As for today's show, we have lots of stuff for you today, including Disney Cruise Line released fall 2021 itineraries. We'll tell you a little bit about that. There's a new Florida resident Walt Disney World ticket option, that's easy to say, that may be of interest to some of our listeners that reside in the Sunshine State. And we've all enjoyed watching Hamilton and now Newsies on Disney Plus. Well, now there's another Disney musical that you may have never seen that you can now have the chance to watch from the comfort of your own couch as well. We'll let you know what that is. But let's get to our main topic of the week. We are very excited to bring on these guests. We were guests on their show a while back. We've connected with them on social media. They've been great friends throughout the whole Disney community. Right. And we talked with them on Thursday. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you may notice we're dressed a little differently. The lighting's probably a little differently. But it was a lot of fun. So let's get to our main topic of the week. So, Michelle, this is really exciting. We've been friends with these people for a long time now. They've been on both of our anniversary shows, did some funny clips.
Oh, they're amazing.
For our anniversary show. We were on their show about 11 months ago, I think it was.
I can't
right
believe
after.
It's been that long ago.
And yet it seems like it's been forever with how long this year is going. But
that's true.
Right, we talked with them after the D23 Expo and how great a time that was. But we're so excited to finally, after we finally figured it out and worked it out, where we could bring on Frank and Jen, Dillo's Diz from Theme Park Thursdays with Dillo's Diz. Guys, welcome to the Hyperion Adventures podcast.
Thank you. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm glad we can finally do this.
I know. It's
awesome.
exciting.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So
I'm here talking to you guys.
Likewise.
Yeah, it's so fun. We're going from coast to coast here.
That's right.
They're out in the New York area. We're here in the San Diego area. We're basically going catty corner of the country.
I
almost.
know. I know. And we totally appreciate you adjusting to our time frame to accommodate this.
This is
So.
how we roll. We roll in the late night. It's the only time we get things done.
All right.
That's how when we started it used to be 10, 11 o'clock. You know,
Yeah.
This quarantine has actually been good for our recording.
That's true. Yeah. Very true. It'd be like 11:59. It's almost theme park Thursday.
Right.
Did we put this up or yeah.
It's like it's already almost past my bedtime
I
here. I'm on the
know.
West
Yeah.
Coast. I'm on the wrong coast for sure.
Tom's the farmer in the group.
So anyways, as we were alluding to, you guys have so much stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But, let's talk a little bit. So, I'm sure we have a lot of listeners that are the same, a lot of crossover listeners, but there are some of our listeners that probably have no idea really who you are. So let's kind of introduce you to them. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you kind of, fell in love with Disney and what made you decide to move it into this podcast and more, which we'll get into as well.
Yeah.
It's
Leave
a
that to
tale
you.
as old as time.
Old as time.
Old as time,
There.
as old as me, really, as you like to say on the podcast. Well, we are siblings. I am the older, much older
Yes.
sibling.
No one's questioning that.
we are
I
7.5
never heard
years
that.
Yeah.
We're 7.5 years apart in age, but for whatever reason, Disney has always been kind of the bridge between our age difference, whether it was trips to Disney or shows on the Disney Channel as it evolved in those very early years of cable TV. Because it was a long time in the beginning, there was cable television. If you like to watch that, you press the button and move the lever down on the cable box to watch the certain channel. And but that's always been our bond. So we went to our family trips every year, and sometimes twice a year. We're to Walt Disney World, and that continued. And we both worked in the parks in different capacities.
Cool.
And then about 3 years ago, I said to
Has it
Jen,
been 3
"Hey,
years?
yeah, well, the first go around, I was doing the podcast, which I am going to bring back someday, called the Improviser's Guide podcast, and the Great Movie Ride was closing, and I said, yo, as I do, and I say, that's how most of our conversations start. And I said, yo, Great Movie Ride's closing. We should sit down and watch the full ride and just talk over it and just see what happens. And Jen, who has been clamoring to have her voice heard, never, was like, all right, whatever. And so once we did that, and we had a big family trip planned a couple months after that, then we said, like, we should try to do a Theme Park Thursday podcast. And I just talked a lot and didn't have Jen talk at all. So I'm going to pass it over to her.
I mean, but that's how I prefer it, because if I could have zero attention on me at all times, that'd be great. So we grew this even more, so more people hear me and see me. That's been fantastic for me. I am not self-conscious at all.
It's hard to walk down the street now, right?
I mean, it's so hard. It's like, sometimes I just want to be with my family and I stop and take pictures, and people aren't really understanding. But I mean, a lot of the really good fans do. But you have those.
Yeah,
people, the people,
right.
Guys.
In your space, yeah.
See them at Comic-Con, you know who I'm talking about. So, yeah, we grew this podcast. I mean, we grew. Let me dial it back. Reality here, but no, we kept going with the podcast and did it every week. We were talking mostly about our family trips. We're a very nostalgic duo. We
Right.
To a fault, where we can't let go of the past. And so we would talk about that. We would, we took some trips together. We did Dillo's Do Diz. Dillo's Does Diz. What was our hashtag?
I think it was Dillo's Do Diz. I think you're correct.
Yeah, sure. So we did one of those for Frank's 44th birthday. And then we did another one this past January, forever.
Yeah.
And we did one this past January, which was great. So, but it's, I think the best part of all of this is like meeting you guys, and we've met such like an amazing community through social media. Mostly we've kind of found our niche on Twitter, where these are our people, like oh my god, because when we went into this, we really had no idea what was out there. We had no idea about like all the Disney vloggers and other podcasters and bloggers, and like, so to find everyone, we're like, oh, this is our happy place.
Yeah.
This is the cool kids table in the cafeteria. Oh my goodness. But
first time we've ever been there.
I know.
Same. Yeah, but it's been awesome. But you know, we have fun doing it and try to figure out. We have always said we don't know what we're talking about week to week. It's still mostly true. Some of them recently have been a little more planned out, but not as much as you think. So we're still, you know, figuring out and trying to have fun along the way.
Well, that's awesome.
Is that a long enough description of it?
Oh no, we love it. We love it. And you all have been great, and you have really brought a lot throughout your podcast, and that we all love. And lately, you've really had some quite impressive guests, and really, you know, upped your game on that regards as well. But we love it.
Let's just talk about a few of those. You've had recently on Chasen Hampton, who was part of the all-new Mickey Mouse Club. Emmy and Academy Award winner John Caglione. Did I get that right, Junior? And Genevieve Goings from Disney Junior. And that's just a few of the amazing guests you've had on recently. You've been like knocking it out of the park over the last several episodes with all these guests. It's really been impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think the pandemic gave us a little bit of like a little like, why not? You know, why not? Let's just see what happens. Because it's things we've talked about and people we've talked about before, but never would have actually reached out to, but just everyone's sitting at home going, they're probably sitting at home too.
Right.
Maybe they want to talk to us.
And,
exactly.
You know, and I think what I've really enjoyed about all the guests that we've had on has been that it has kept the theme of the nostalgia for us.
Sure.
Because whether it's performers that we've seen over the years, you know, how the villains in Dick Tracy for John Caglione Jr., like, you know, left such an impression on us.
Right.
You know, I love that it is always circled back, whether we knew it was going to happen or not, to how nostalgic, you know, we are.
Nice.
It's perfect, and they've been amazing. Every week, I'm like, who are they going to get this week? Because it's always insane. So we're very impressed, and it's actually inspired me to try and reach out more. Although I keep reaching out to Lin-Manuel Miranda, but he just doesn't take my calls. I don't understand it. I try.
I keep saying if we got him, that would be our final episode.
Yeah,
dropping
right.
the mic,
Not doing
signing off.
That.
Exactly.
We're going to go back to just us after that.
I know, right?
Boring.
Yeah.
So speaking of that Genevieve Goings interview, that was part 2 of that. The part 1 was actually on the Magical Mommy Mondays podcast with Jen and Angela Dahlgren. Talk a little bit about that. Let our listeners know about that podcast, because that's relatively new. It's only been a few months now.
We started it 1 week before the world shut down. It's a great time to start a podcast, everybody. Angela Dahlgren, if you don't know, is previously worked for Touring Plans. She did a lot of their videos, a lot of their social media. We actually met up when Frank and I had both been on the Touring Plans podcast on separate episodes, probably about a year ago, last summer-ish. But in January, Jocelyn on Twitter, Disney Gratitude 1, replace the E with a 1, did a meetup in Disney. We were down there, and Angela happened to be down there with her family, so she joined us on the morning of the meetup. So that's the first time we met in person. And we actually rode in the same buggy on the Haunted Mansion together.
Nice.
And we just talked the entire time, which is seen in a Haunted Mansion photo where I just look really serious.
I saw that picture.
And we walked off of that going, should we do like a mom podcast? We totally should. That was the end of January, and March 2nd was our first episode.
Nice.
So we've been doing that and kind of, doing mostly like parenting topics, but, we throw Disney in there. How could we not? We're both
Sure.
obsessed. So we do a little pixie dust in some episodes as well. So
Sweet.
we're just trying out different things.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
another podcast you definitely need to check out for sure.
Definitely.
Really excellent show. All the shows are excellent. Speaking of all the shows, again, running down this list of things they do. They also do the Parks and Monorail's Most Magical Hour every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live with our other good friends, Justin and Samantha Monorail, who from the Monday Morning Monorail podcast.
Yeah.
That's always a blast. Unfortunately, Michelle's always coming home at that time,
I
so we can never
know.
take part in it. But we do come back and watch it later, and it's really always a good time just to have you see you guys chatting away because you guys are great friends, and that's a lot of fun. And then there's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say that, again, it's the community aspect of it where we met Justin and Sam very early on and realized that we have this great banter and chemistry. And the couple of times that we've done each other's podcasts, it's been the before and after conversations that we're kind of like, we need to do something else.
Right.
We know this recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you guys are such great friends and you have great chemistry together, and that show is always excellent as well. So, and then to top it off, there's also the Forever 44 Fedora Club, which is also going on out there, that they do monthly meetings and have all sorts of stuff. There's a Facebook page for it if you want to look it up.
Special
check
handshake.
It out. There it is.
All right,
there's Jen and her fedora. So well, we didn't break out mine. I should have brought down my fedora. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking. Well, anyway, so
I mean, your recipes are featured every
that
month.
is true.
So you need a fedora like chef hat.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Disney Dishes blog recipe every month is part of that meeting, as well as Landon Doan's cocktail recipes are always on there as well, and that's a lot of fun too. So, but I want to get into our fun little game here now. But before we do, you guys are also, like us, huge Hamilton fans. So we need to talk a little bit about Hamilton before we get into the game.
We loved your Hamilton episode, by the way.
Are you looking forward to our musical? Since
I am.
It's going to be great.
Frank, I was very impressed when you ran off that one little run. I couldn't do that when I can't even repeat it, but that was amazing. I'm sitting there driving in the car going, I think I was somewhere in around, I don't know, New Mexico or something when I was listening to that. I was like, wow, that's really, really impressive. So,
That's as good as it gets. I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for the musical episode. I think you're going to top that. Well, really. So, guys, I know you're huge. Obviously, you live in New York. You've been to Broadway many times. You're musical theater fans. So your impressions of Hamilton, I know that you know of it. You tried to get into it, but you've never seen it really before you saw it on Disney Plus. So what are your thoughts? I'm sure it's pretty much along the lines of our thoughts of it.
Jen, I'm going to let you answer first while I put on my MFA in dramaturgy.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Well, I mean, I thought it was okay.
What else?
I don't know that it lives up to the hype that much, but no, it was amazing. We had tried doing the lottery a few times to try to get into the show because the tickets are a little pricey. So we were trying for those way less expensive lottery tickets. Never got it. My husband has been obsessed with the soundtrack. I knew all the songs, but wouldn't get too into it, so I could just experience it all. But no, it's amazing. We have put on various parts randomly, or just started from the beginning, even just to have on in the background since then. Right. It makes me miss live theater more. By seeing it this way, which is probably the opposite reaction some people would assume, something like, good, just put all the shows up on TV. And I want to go back. I want to experience it and cry in person instead of with the TV. It's amazing. It's amazing that Lynn, my buddy Lynn, I go by first name, that he created this in his head, that you did all these songs and were able to write this historical piece for the most part, without the liberties. I know.
Right.
Historical piece this way. This is amazing. And,
Yes.
and everyone was so good. And I mean, I love it. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, as Jen was saying, we played the lottery, and I'm New York City based. Jen's out on the island, so we would actually go. My wife and I. My wife works in the Broadway industry, and play and do the lottery before it went electronic. So, and they used to do this thing called ham for ham,
Yeah.
which was a big hashtag, always trending, always guest every night. The whole block was insanity, and so that was our first real exposure to it. That pandemonium. But my daughter was about to be born during the first year of their run on Broadway, so financially it didn't really line.
Right.
And once the original cast left, I kind of backed off on it. I wasn't as anxious to see it.
Right.
My wife did see it live, but what I really loved about it was just how well the filming made me feel like I was actually in the live audience, which you don't really see in any previous musicals that are filmed. I think it's totally going to change the way people, view, because they're like, oh, people won't come to the Broadway show. They see it on. That's done. People are going to film all the Broadway shows now so that they get ticket buy.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sure Disney's already like, should we have filmed Frozen before it closed on Broadway?
Yeah, right.
Done that. We probably should have. But that's really what I was impressed about. That it still made it feel like the performer audience dynamic is key, obviously. But I was really impressed that I felt like I was sucked into the world of the play.
Yes.
Yeah, we are about as far away in the continental United States as we can get from Broadway.
Right.
We have been there. We've been to New York. We've seen shows on Broadway and enjoyed it. But we do here in San Diego. I mean, we do get touring companies through, and we do belong to Broadway San Diego.
Right.
We do go to all the shows when they come in town. And part of the reason we joined that was because Hamilton was coming around.
Yeah.
And so we were blessed enough to we've been lucky enough to be able to, not with the original cast, tell Disney Plus, or even the Broadway cast, but we have seen it a few times. And
our king was a Broadway.
Our king was one of the Broadway kings. Rory O'Malley. We got to see him when he was the king.
Amazing.
He was a great king.
Yeah.
But we've enjoyed the heck out of it. But the one thing we watching it on Disney Plus, we've discussed it on the show a couple times, is that you see it and you're like, oh, the stage, it's great, the show is wonderful, and you're just taking it all in. But getting to rewatch it over and over in Disney Plus, we've picked out so many little things, just the way people are placed along the rafters and on the sides of the stage and everything, and everything is blocked so perfectly. Andy Blankenbuehler, all the lighting, everybody just did such a wonderful job of setting this whole show up. It's just simply incredible to me.
Yeah.
And I know you agree, Michelle.
Yeah. And if we make this a Hamilton episode, we will
Moving along.
because we can all trust me. I'm holding back comments because I know we will get into a Hamilton episode if we're not cautious.
No, Michelle, you go ahead, and then I'm going to close it out.
I know, right? No, it's
but Tom's totally dead on that. That there's what I love about theater, because I have an MFA in dramaturgy.
Yes.
But I love the little things that nobody ever seems to get, like it's the little Easter eggs or whatever.
Right.
Just the little things you can pick out along the way, whether you're talking about Ariana, who they call the bullet, and follow her path throughout the show. All of those little things is what I love about theater so much. And so, the multiple rewatch. Is totally
yeah.
Yeah, and Michelle's right. I can sit here and I'll just talk about Hamilton forever. So we do need to move along, but it's an excellent show. And,
Fine.
yeah.
I know. We'll do another episode on Hamilton again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it's just a Zoom conference with you all.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, a happy hour.
That's
Hamilton happy hour.
That's
Oh,
right.
I like this.
I know, right? It's on.
Will Samantha Monorail be there for that? Maybe the happy hour part of it.
I think maybe like a YouTube live Hamilton happy hour.
Oh my
and
gosh.
We'll bring Sam in. And we're like,
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we spent too much time on that. So now Jen and Frank, Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. Definitely go check out that
Yeah,
show.
they're awesome.
But
Thank you for all those plugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's get to the fun part of this show, the more fun part of the show, and that is handing it over to the game show hostess with the mostest, Michelle, for a little bit of Walt Disney World game show fun.
Well,
Michelle, take it away.
Thank you. And, trying to keep with your theme of nostalgia, we wanted to tie in the vintage Disney tickets, A through E. I have my shirt on. I sent you all little piece of paperwork to review. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through several rounds here where you get to pick how would you spend that ticket if you were at the parks. But there's some twists that I forgot to tell you about.
Me too. I'm learning this all too as we go. So.
I hit send way too fast, apparently.
Yeah, that's it.
I know. So
That's what it was.
So as we're going through the rounds, you get to pick from these A, B, C, D, E tickets. And we want to share a little story, a little something about it. Doesn't have to be anything lengthy or whatever, but just kind of why you picked it or whatever. So here's the first twist. Once it's chosen, it's off the table.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
So it can only be used by one person at a time. So the other little twist is you get points for each of these. And we're going to have a little bit of trivia going on, too, that you get more points. So we'll get to see who can get the most points.
It will not be me. Although I'm keeping score, so maybe it will be me.
Yeah, it has not been
a couple in for yourself.
Yeah. Rewind and watch this video because he has not been the most accurate at scorekeeping. But to keep the playing fields even, Tom has not known this either. So he got the same information you got. He just knew I was doing some kind of a game and that was about it. So
Here we go.
I know.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so to go to round one, which we'll start with the A ticket, we're going to invite our guests to be their first choice, but we're going to let them do rock, paper, scissors to see who chooses first. So are you ready?
What? Oh, we're not.
Wait. No, you got. Are you doing 1, 2, 3 and then go, or one,
Wait,
1, 2, 3.
go.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Go.
Oh, scissors.
Oh, scissors.
1, 2, 3.
No.
You just go first.
Yeah, right. You can't make decisions anyway.
And we're off to a rollicking
Great
start.
This is actually better.
Scissor games.
This is better than I could predict it.
Rock, paper, scissors, and if there's a DNA connection, how the psyche
Really
works
weird.
with it.
The poor people who aren't watching.
20
this
minutes
video,
later,
and
we're
I'm
still-
like, what were they doing? How was that hard? Okay, Frank.
Yeah.
From your A ticket selections,
Mhm.
which
Well, here's which I just gotta pick one, right?
right?
Just one. And we're very good test takers too, so I'm looking forward to the trivia portion of this discussion. My instinct was to go with the Walt Disney World Railroad, and Jen's glaring at me, and I thought about Alien Swirling Saucers. I really enjoyed going on that with my daughter, and that was really an enjoyable time. So for that, I'm still going to pick the Walt Disney World Railroad.
So he gets this
Not
point
right.
for that. Yeah. So that's off the table now. So Jen, now you have the hard choice to pick a different one.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Alien Swirling Saucers.
All right.
So, by the way,
Just because you were gonna do it, so now I'll do it.
by the way, we limited this just to Magic Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Right.
Hashtag always MGM.
Right.
Yes.
Because of the fact that, Epcot just didn't have that much available right now, as half the park is closed.
Right.
or-
To categorize it.
Well,
and
and similar to somebody over there across the screen, we're a little bit of hashtag AK hated ourselves.
right.
Not that we hate the Animal Kingdom, it's just not our favorite park to go
Right,
to.
right.
You know, so.
It's the 6th park chronologically.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So, Sweetie, you
my
get
choice.
a pick.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go with Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom just because I never get to play. I'm always caddying her around as she plays it. So now I'm going to finally get to play
All right, there you go. See what we learn in these podcasts. All right. So now we do get a bonus trivia question.
Oh.
And whoever gets this, so you each got 1 point for that round. So bravo.
Yay.
So now
We're in the game, guys.
Yeah. So now here's a 2-pointer. Okay. So there are 4 stock trains at Walt Disney World that were actually hauled sugarcane for the United Railways of Yucatan and Mexico. I didn't know if you knew that, but I'm considering we're talking attractions here. 2 extra, and name is your buzzer. Okay, so let's first try. If you can get this, give us your
Jen.
name. Okay,
Oh,
Jen's
yeah.
got it. Jen. All right, Frank. Let's hear your name.
Frank.
All right.
Tom?
All right.
I had to think about it.
I know. Okay, so name is your buzzer. 2 extra points will go to anyone who can name any one of the 4 trains.
Oh, we're off to a start. Whew.
Frank.
Okay, Frank.
Lily.
Is the first part of your answer?
That's as good as it's getting. Right
All right, I say we award Frank.
Yeah, he was
the
closer
point.
than I was, that's
Right.
for sure.
It's Lily Bell. Lily Bell.
I know the Lily Bell is the caboose car at Disneyland.
Right, right. So, okay, so I'll give 1 point if anybody else has one other guess.
Do not. We're such rookies.
All right, so here you go. The other 3 were the Walter E. Disney, the Roy O. Disney, and the Roger E. Broggie, who was one who was helping that.
I know.
Yeah, I know. You could have
How
just
can we-
guessed
how we
that.
not
I
just
thought
put
sure
Walt Disney?
somebody was just going to say Walt Disney. I was going to
See,
okay.
the trains at Disneyland are all, they're much different names than that. They're not named after the people. So
I know. Tricky
Guess I
question
need to
here.
get to the railroad again sometime soon. All right.
All right, so now we're going to go on to our B ticket selections. And since we're doing round robin, so Frank, you went first. So Jen, you get to go first this round.
Oh, well, I'm going to pick hashtag Save the Muppets.
All right.
3D.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes,
Any
yes.
special memories there?
Oh, so many.
I
No, it definitely has nostalgia to it, but I've talked about it before that my kids have both seen it, and like watching them watch it, but also feeling how I felt when I was a kid. Like
Right.
it was cool doing all that. So
That's awesome.
and I love the Muppets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody needs to pick it because, hashtag Save the Muppets.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, sweetie, you get
Excited
next.
for Muppets Now.
I
Muppets Now.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week.
That's
week.
right.
Very excited for that. So.
Okay, you get next, sweetie.
Well, I have to pick the attraction that is no longer on the West Coast. So the only chance I actually get to still see it is when I go visit Magic Kingdom. So I'm going to save Country Bear Jamboree
Yeah.
for myself.
Nice.
I
Nice.
miss it. I'm a little nostalgic for the Country Bear Jamboree
Right.
whenever I go.
Getcha. I getcha. All right. And Frank.
I mean, it comes down to It's a Small World and Peter Pan's Flight to me, but as again, we base ourselves on history sometimes. The patriarch of our family, Papa Dillo, as
Yes.
we call him on Theme Park Thursday. He's kind of a cult figure now among the Twitter community, and he loved It's a Small World so much. And really, we only found out for the first
Yes.
time a couple months ago that he went on the ride at the 1964 World's Fair. Which
Wow.
is
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go It's a Small World.
All
Nice.
right. Should we bring out the Hawaiian doll here?
So
There we go.
You think
We got
we're
the-
kidding?
Nice.
Yes.
That is Papadillo's favorite part. Quite
Oh,
honestly.
wow.
Yes.
Push her belly.
Points it out. There they are.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna need to get some of those.
I know. And the second time you do it, she does it in Polynesian language. So, anyways,
but she's
we
always looking over
digress.
my shoulder. It's a little weird.
Okay, so everybody got 2 points on that. And for another 2 points, we have another trivia question.
Gotta be better than the last one.
Okay.
Does it
I
really?
don't know. I really thought
I
something
mean,
would
for us. I mean, not for you. The question's great.
I thought it was starting with the easy. Anybody would at least say Walt Disney or Roy Disney. For sure, I thought. For sure.
We're not good test takers.
Okay, so kind of going again, trying to keep for these a theme park theme. In a Goofy movie, Goofy and Max visited an attraction that is said to be a parody of Country Bear Jamboree. Name is your buzzer. Anyone who can name that location.
Oh, it's so close. I'm so close. I could get part of it, Tom.
Okay.
It's the possum. Oh, what is it? Who's your favorite possum?
That's right. And then they say,
I don't remember. I'm so,
I
fail.
think Tom needs the points. Just
I
for
know,
the
I know. It's Lester's.
Lester.
Lester's
I was
Possum
I'm like,
Park.
Chester?
Oh, so you would have been close. Well, since you didn't give a wrong answer, I guess we'll
How many points do I get for that? For my
you get 2 points.
That's
for
amazing.
that.
I got 2 for that.
I know.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast before, but Goofy was my favorite character growing up. So when I was 20, the Goofy movie came out,
yeah.
and I kind of found I was like, nope, I don't approve, because again, I felt like
Right.
you're changing Goofy's story. Don't like change. I've never seen the Goofy movie to this day.
Oh.
I think you'd love it.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it again.
Yeah,
watch
I
it
think
with the
you'd.
kids.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. All right.
The music is really good in it. The music is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's a good musical.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're on to Ticket C. Ticket C to be used now. And the list is getting narrower here. So, okay. Round robin. Honey, you start.
I'm first. Oh.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I forgot what was on here. Ooh, this is a tough one. Holy cow. There's some good ones on here. I'm a Star Wars fan. I got to go for Star Tours. I love my Star
All
Tours.
right.
I'm going for Star Tours.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I've even been able to be the rebel spy.
That's
a couple
right.
times. Must have been no kids on board.
I know. Okay, Jen.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Frank?
Yeah.
It should be Frank.
Was it? Frank?
Oh, yeah, Frank. Sorry.
I'm
All
trying
right.
to play
All
fair.
right. Yeah, thank
All
you.
right.
I should have taken it. 'cause
We
it's
should give
probably
you an
gonna
extra
take a while.
point for that.
I'm totally going to take yours. You know I
Jen
am.
gets an
I
extra
think I
point.
get a bonus point.
She gets 0.5 for
Yes,
honesty.
for kindness.
though. Yes.
Yes.
Half a pint.
This whole game is rigged. Well, I mean, as I've talked about, the Rock and Roller Coaster, now that I'm getting a little older, it does not treat me well when I'm on it. I think Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor is incredibly underrated.
Yes.
And I really enjoy it every time I go in. But you talked about Tiki Room and Carousel of Progress, both classics. Jen
Yeah.
absolutely knows I'm picking Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. for this
Yeah.
one.
Good deal.
Glad I got that half a point.
I know.
I'm going to go to keep with the nostalgia
Yes.
of the Tiki Room.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good choices, everybody. Well, that's a good lead into our next trivia question.
Here we go again.
And there's
Next fail.
So there's an advantage of East Coast people because this is a real nostalgic question here. All right.
Oh, that's added pressure.
I know. Okay. So this one is for an extra C ticket. So you get to pick another attraction. Yeah. Okay. Ready? What was the original name of Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room at Walt Disney World? And that is the name that you would see on a ticket.
Ooh.
Somewhere fact checker Mel Dale is yelling at us.
I would have no idea of this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to chime in, but I can't.
I don't have it.
No.
I should have it,
All
and
right.
I don't have it.
No.
Tropical Serenade. That was the
Tropical
original when it
Tropical
first opened.
Serenade.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
man, I feel so exposed.
Yeah. We're just being exposed for the frauds we are. Good thing we got all those plugs early on.
This is a universal podcast,
I
right?
know. SeaWorld.
That's what we've been demoted to. The SeaWorld podcast.
Okay, so now we're going to move right on into the D ticket selections here. And so let's see. We're back to now. I'm losing
Be frank.
track.
No.
No, I went last. Jen,
Oh, me.
No,
Yeah.
it's Frank is first this time because I picked Star Tours first.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
get
Okay,
point.
so
I get
Frank.
0.5 for that.
Yeah, he gets 0.5.
Yeah.
Now you just offset Jen's win there, but
Frank
I'm
vaults into the
trying,
lead.
Jen. I'm trying.
Frank vaults into the lead with that 0.5 there.
Okay. So
Oh my goodness.
D ticket choice there.
So who's actually
You.
started?
Frank.
Me? Oh
No,
no, it's Frank.
Yeah.
It is.
you're first, Frank.
Yeah, so take away that half the point.
Messed
Get
up.
out of
You're
here.
back tie, Frank.
Or we could do rock, paper, scissors again.
All right, let's do it again.
I think this is the toughest of the categories
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Because Big Thunder Mountain and Pirates and Jungle Cruise. Oh boy, Toy Story Mania is probably number 5 on this for me. But so I'm going to go with the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror because to
Ooh.
me it is the most fully rounded, complete attraction
Nice.
of the 5.
All right. All right.
I
The story
am going
aspect is
with.
good. I'm sorry, Jen.
Go ahead.
No. I am going with Big Thunder.
Nice.
9.
I like that one. Yeah.
I like that one.
All right,
Big
sweetie.
Thunder Mountain.
I be going with the Pirates of the Caribbean, matey. Arr.
Excellent pirate.
I know, right?
Not really. That was terrible.
Oh, you should see him dressed up as a pirate. Very good-looking pirate.
We're
Trust
gonna
me.
need that posted on social media.
Yeah.
It'll be on the video. It'll be on the video for sure.
All right, so you each get 4 points for that round.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
So now we have another question. And this one, hopefully, it's not a trivia question.
Can you just like what color is the sky? You know, I mean,
Right,
really,
yeah.
we need
Yeah.
something pretty simple.
Where is Walt Disney World located?
I know, right?
City? I can get
Exactly.
that.
What
Yeah.
state? Which country?
Give you the zip
which
code.
planet?
Okay, so this is using, and I don't know if you all can see here, the original Family Feud Disney Edition questions. Just in the pack a few minutes before calling you all. So
Fresh. It's a
Nice.
freshie.
brand new here. So name is your buzzer to who gets to answer first, but you all will get to answer to see who will get a second D ticket.
Ooh.
Okay. If you could have a Disney character on your birthday cake, who would you choose?
Frank.
Okay, Frank. Who would you choose?
I'm going to go with Mickey Mouse.
Survey says
classic.
22. Highest points. Sorry, other contestants. You are not going to beat that.
You just beat me to the punch. Too. Nicely done,
The
Frank.
trivia question.
Nice. So you get a second D ticket.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Over Toy Story
Yes.
Mania.
Good one.
All right.
Nice choice.
Nice choice.
So that gives him an extra 4 points.
Yes, an extra
Ooh,
4 points.
vaults back into the
Vaulting
lead.
up, vaulting up. Okay, for 5 points, you each get to select an E-ticket.
That'll be Jen starting
Jen
first. this time.
first.
Oh, I can start.
I wonder what she's going to pick.
If you listen to Theme Park Thursday, then you may have heard us do the
Already writing it
Dillo's
down.
my favorite thing about this season. Horn. What is it? We do Dillo's Mania over there. What do we do? I don't know.
Dillo's is my favorite thing about Disney ever this year. March Madness Mania Pool.
Right. And this ride was selected as my favorite thing ever, and that is the TTA People Mover.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, baby.
I know. It hurts.
I know.
I knew when Jen got to go first that it was gone. I was just crossing it off the list already.
All right, so you get to.
That's okay. I get my other favorite attraction, which
Yes.
is the Haunted Mansion.
Nice, yes.
I love the Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion. On both
All
coasts.
right. All right. And Frank, your e-ticket for 5 points will be used on which attraction?
Comes down to the Slinky Dog Dash and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I've only been on Seven Dwarfs once, and I would actually be curious to see like a poll question of these two coasters matched up against one another to see who or which one people prefer. But I have a personal connection to Slinky Dog. I worked very closely with Slinky Dog as a
Half
cast
of them.
member. With half of Slinky Dog in the Toy Story Parade, which our time together started on Christmas Day, 1995, and so I have no choice at all. And I do think it's the better coaster to pick, the Slinky Dog Dash.
Nice choice.
I agree.
All
Better coaster.
right. We're kind of getting close to the end here, but we're going into round 6 here. And
So
you
round
get
6?
round 6. Yes. You get to have a special e-ticket that's not on your ticket book right now, but you get to
Oh.
earn an e-ticket with answering another Family Feud question. Name is your buzzer. And here's what you get to choose from: Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway as your special 6-point e-ticket. All right, are you ready?
I know why they're laughing, so it's fine.
Okay. Name the Disney or Disney Pixar character you'd like most to have pictured on your sneakers.
Jen.
Okay, Jen.
Woody.
Woody.
What?
I
No
know.
points?
Tom,
Not even on the board?
Tom.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear, 7 points.
I'm walking off this podcast right now.
All right, Frank, what's your guess?
I'm gonna go ahead and pick Mr. Incredible.
Meh.
Ah.
I know. So so Tom, you got points for it. You get to pick that. Mickey Mouse was number 1 again at 19, which Frank, I thought for sure you were going to go on that trend. Ariel, Buzz Lightyear, Donald Duck, and Pluto all tied with 7 points, and Winnie the Pooh 4, Genie 3, and Minnie Mouse
I thought
3.
it was Pixar character.
That's
It
what
said
I thought.
Disney or Disney Pixar.
Oh, see, that's where I got
Totally
confused.
Pixar.
Got
You,
it.
you
Pixar.
focused
Man.
on, yeah.
At least I still got it. So.
You got it. So you get 6 extra points, and you get to pick which of these special attractions you'd like to go on.
Well, it's Rise. Rise of the Resistance is an amazing attraction
All
over
right.
the other ones. I mean, I haven't been on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway yet. I understand it's great. I haven't been on it. Millennium Falcon's fine. I like it a lot, but it's fine. Rise of the Resistance, though, was an unbelievable advancement in attraction
Right.
technology. I think it's top to bottom story all the way through. It's a fantastic ride.
Right. Okay. last round. Here is the winner can swap one of their A tickets, which is a 1-pointer, for someone else's E ticket.
Oh.
People.
Just freeze. You just froze. Oh, you just froze.
You froze. Say it again.
I said, I'm coming for Jen's people mover.
Okay. Here's the question. Name the Disney princess character that would make an excellent best friend.
Jen.
Frank.
I heard Jen
I think
first.
Jen was
Yep.
first, yeah.
Okay, Jen. What's your answer?
Belle.
Okay. Bing. 7 points.
7.
Yeah. I know. What's in a
Frank.
pie? Frank.
Snow White.
Snow White. 28. Bing.
Ooh. All right, I think pressure's on.
Uh-huh.
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel didn't make the list. Cinderella, though, would have been tied with Snow White at 28. Belle was 7 and Mulan 3. All right, so we have Frank here. You get to steal an A. You get to take one of your A tickets and give it to somebody and take their E ticket.
Jen, you can gladly have my Walt Disney World Railroad back. And
It forms a transportation.
Yeah, you know.
We came full circle. You took it from me for the first ticket, and you're taking it away for the last ticket.
We like telling a story here.
Yes.
much like Hamilton's story in the musical. I'm going to tie it all together.
All right, so that means then that Frank actually gains an extra 4 points on that, and Jen loses 4 points. Yeah, because your A ticket that you ended up getting for your E was only worth 1 point, and you gave up the other 5. Yeah.
So sorry about that.
I see the tear in your eye and everything. Yeah.
So
All right.
distraught.
So now drum roll, and Tom's doing all the math.
Which is always a
Put
problem.
your
You can see the
things on
smoke.
pause and come back.
And the winner is
Yes.
Mr. Frank Cardillo with 25 points.
Wow.
That last little boost edged me by. I had 23 points. Jen, I'm sorry because Frank ripped you off. The older brother taking advantage of the younger sister once again. Unfortunately, 12 points for Jen.
Speaking of nostalgia.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. You all made me laugh hysterically. So I loved it. I loved it. You all, and I loved your stories and your selections, and good job. Good job. Yes.
Good fun. And we need to study up on our Walt Disney World trivia.
Trivia,
for sure.
yeah.
Before we come on again with Michelle's games. It's tough.
Yeah.
There's one thing I should have been doing in the quarantine.
That's right. Yes.
Exactly.
I could hear the people now listening to this podcast going, how did you not know?
Yeah.
Screaming at whatever they're listening to their podcast on.
Frauds, all of us.
I know some of those were hard, and who knows what really this Family Feud, how accurate that is. But hey, it was an actual toy, so it must be real.
Well, guys, this has been a tremendous amount of fun. We've taken up way too much of your time on a theme park Thursday evening to record this. But before we let you go, please let our listeners know where they can find all of your various different podcasts, shows, whatever they may be.
Enterprises.
Well, everyone, sit down, relax, give us
Another 20 minutes. Yeah.
Is it me? Is it you? Is it
Yeah,
me?
go ahead. You do it.
So we're Dillo's Diz, Dillo's with an S, Diz with a Z. So you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, where Tom and Michelle, on their anniversary episode, committed to doing a TikTok with us when they finally get to Disneyland.
Yes.
As long as it's not banned before then. Yes. We're doing it.
So you can follow us there, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Every Thursday we have the Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz podcast. And, every couple of weeks or so, once a month we're trying for, but we skipped a month, is the Forever 44 Fedora Club. And on Tuesday nights with the Monday morning monorail crew, it's the Parks and Monorail's most magical hour. You can call in on their Podbean. You can join the fun on our YouTube. Is that all the things? Did I miss anything? I feel like I have. I'm not sure.
Magical Mommy Monday.
Oh, Magical Mommy Mondays every Monday on your favorite podcasting platform. You can follow us on Twitter at our name is too long, so it's different everywhere.
Yeah.
On Twitter at Magic Mom Monday. On Instagram is at Magical Mommy Mondays. So you can check us out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, again, thanks for taking so much time. We've had a blast with you guys. We always do. We enjoyed just hanging out with you guys on social media. This is fun. I hope we can do it again sometime soon. And eventually we are going to connect somewhere at the parks. It's going to happen, or whether it's out at Disneyland, Walt Disney World, wherever it may be. And we're looking forward to connecting with you guys in person.
Most definitely. Thank you for indulging in our silly little game here.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
And like Jen was saying, you guys are such an important part of the community, and we're so glad that we connect on a regular basis, even if it's on social media.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna need some, tutoring on the Matterhorn and things like that.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right.
Now he's going to have a dream about it. So.
Yeah.
Matterhorn dream.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Guys.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Frank and Jen are just the spectacular, fun human beings and great members of the Disney community. And I'm completely embarrassed that I am so bad at Disney trivia. That was really, really funky.
I don't know. Maybe I picked really hard things. So anyways, I really appreciate, they had me laughing like crazy
Oh, it was
there.
so
and,
fun.
They're so sweet and so kind to have gone through that with us. And we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, you heard all the things that they're doing right now for them to be able to take the time to find a night on the night when their podcast dropped. And I believe that Frank also recorded a different podcast of his own, and Jen recorded the Magical Mommy Monday podcast that same night, and they still squeezed us in. So thank you, Frank. Thank you, Jen, for taking the time to be on our show. We had a lot of fun with you, and this will not be the last time, as long as you're willing to come back on our show.
As long as we didn't torture you too much.
This will not be the last time that they will be on our show. A lot of fun. And please check out all the different things that we mentioned. Find them. Check out all their shows. They are all a lot of fun and always super entertaining.
Definitely are. And they're, like I said, they're wonderful. And again, thank you so much. And next time we have you on, we'll be more genteel.
Right. And by the way, going back and listening to that, you were correct in your reading of the one question where we all thought it was Pixar for some reason.
Yes.
You did say Disney or Disney Pixar. And so I don't know where our brains were, but all three of our brains were in the same spot that we just thought it was Pixar.
Right.
You went that way, but you were correct.
Okay,
so you were still the game show hostess with the Mostest.
I'm glad I did it right. But,
you totally did. Totally did. You were great all the way through. That was a great game and a lot of fun, and we laughed a lot. And it
was fun hearing from Frank and Jen some of the things that they like about the parks and some of their favorite attractions. So that was fun for us as well.
Yeah. Maybe at some point we will come back with either them or some other guests or a big group of guests and do the same thing with the Animal Kingdom Park and Epcot, once Epcot finally gets some more attractions open again, once they eventually get back open more. But we'll see what happens with that. So let's get to our Disney stories of the week. I've got a few for you this week. I'm going to start with a Disney cruise story, and that's because Disney Cruise Line, while they're still not cleared to sail yet, at least for this fall, you can start planning your 2021 fall vacation with Captain Mickey. This from the Disney Cruise Line blog, or DisneyCruiseLineBlog.com anyway. On Thursday, Disney Cruise Line quietly released their fall 2021 itineraries with some new options sprinkled in with their normal familiar fall sailings.
Cool.
As expected, the Disney Magic will return from Europe and head first to New York, while the Disney Wonder will reposition from Alaska right back here to San Diego.
Yay.
Before hitting the Panama Canal. The Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy will remain at Port Canaveral, offering Bahamian and Caribbean cruises. Most of the early fall savings are Halloween on the high sea sailings are Halloween on the high seas, and most November and December voyages are very merry time, avoiding any guesses on as to whether the theme cruises will return next year. So that's good. They will have those back again next year. So looking at some of the ships have planned, the Disney Magic will end her time in Europe and sail to New York, visiting 2 new Spanish ports of call Bilbao, whatever, Bilbao and Coruña. Then it will end up that sailing, that transatlantic sailing, that westbound transatlantic in New York, and then it'll offer some sailings to Bermuda and a voyage into Canada. It will later do a 5-night repositioning to San Juan, Puerto Rico, with a stop in Bermuda, and finally move to Miami to offer sailings to the Bahamas and the Western Caribbean.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Disney Wonder will reposition from Vancouver to San Diego and do 3, 4, and 5-night Baja sailings with a single, just one, Mexican Riviera cruise before it will do its 14-night eastbound Panama Canal, which will end up in Galveston.
Nice.
And they'll start sailing from Galveston through the remainder of 2021, offering Western Caribbean and Bahamas cruises. The Fantasy will span the fall, sailing primarily 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises with Saturday departures from Port Canaveral. However, in November, the Fantasy will move to Sunday departures. This from what the DisneyCruiseLineBlog.com says, is could be potentially offering a hint at the future Disney Wish when it arrives at Port Canaveral, and it may start picking up its sailings on Saturdays, since with the Fantasy moving to Sundays.
Right.
There are some shorter Bahamian cruises sprinkled in mid-November for the Fantasy, and there are 2 sailings on the Fantasy which will do a double dip at Castaway Cay. There's a 5-night Bahamian cruise and a really interesting one that I don't think it's going to work, unfortunately, into our schedule, but it's a Western Caribbean with 2 stopovers at Castaway Cay. And I think that's a very merry time. And it's right around, I haven't checked the calendar to see if that is actually Thanksgiving, but it's right around Thanksgiving as well. That could be a wonderful sailing. Might be a little pricey, but that would be a wonderful sailing. Meanwhile, the Disney Dream will continue to alternate between the 3 and 4-night Bahamian sailings. Bahamian, maybe Bohemian, but it's definitely Bahamian sailings as they normally do. So if you're looking to book any of these cruises, they will open up for Platinum Castaway Club members and Disney Golden Oaks residents, all you Golden Oaks residents that listen to our show. We know you're out there. That will be probably, it's going to, when we're recording this, it'll be tomorrow, Monday, July 27th. Many of you will probably be listening to this, and they've already opened up. They start at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific Time, if you're looking to book those sailings. Tuesday, July 28th, will be opened up for Gold Castaway Club members. Again, same time for all of these, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific Time. Wednesday, July 29th for Silver Castaway Club members, Adventures by Disney Insiders, and DVC members who have not previously sailed with Disney Cruise Line. And it'll open up to the general public on Thursday, July 20th. Again, all times, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific, and you can call the Disney Cruise Line phone number, or you can sign on with your account to Disney Cruise Line and book it straight through the website as well. So,
or your travel agent.
Which I will get. That's part of my tip, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Actually, all of that is part of my tip. We'll get to that in a little bit. If you're looking for more of a land-based vacation in the next few months, well, Walt Disney World has begun, and you live in Florida, by the way, Walt Disney World has begun offering a brand new ticket offer for those who live in the Sunshine State. It's actually a pretty good deal. You got to hear this. This is straight from the Walt Disney World website. With the Florida resident Disney Magic Flex ticket, you can enjoy 2, 3, or 4 days, depending on your ticket you purchase, at the one Walt Disney World theme park per day. These flexible tickets can be used at any one of the 4 theme parks on non-consecutive days throughout the offer period. Now, check out these prices because they're really, really good. A 2-day ticket is $130. So
Wow.
$65 per day. And that'll be good from now. It's a good now through September 30th of 2020. The 3-day ticket is $174. So $58 per day. That's good from now through, it goes, there's a blackout period through Thanksgiving from the November 20th to the 29th, but otherwise it extends from now until December 18th.
Wow.
So you have plenty of time to use up
Yes.
those 3 days. And the 4-day ticket, which runs for $195, that's only $49 per day. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy,
crazy.
right? It's good for the same period as the 3-day ticket. So from now to December 18th with a blackout period for around Thanksgiving from November 20th to the 29th. Now, you still have to make park reservations with this ticket through the Park Pass system. So you buy the ticket and then you link it to your account at the My Disney Experience app, and then you book your reservation, and then you can pick your days whenever you want to go, and you could just to let you know. But that is a steal of a deal for those Florida residents out there. If you don't have an annual pass, you should, and you feel like going to the park for 3 or 4 days, you should definitely jump on that. And they don't have to be, they're not consecutive days.
Right.
So all the better. You can just,
Yes.
pick and choose when you want to go.
Right. That's an amazing offer. Yeah. I think that's the best we've ever heard. You
Yeah.
know, obviously, annual passes, if you go a lot, it spreads that cost out, but that is a big chunk of change to put up all at once. So that's a wonderful deal.
Yeah. $49 per day for
I
that
know.
4-day
Yeah.
ticket. That's insane. I've never thought about going to the parks and only paying less than $50
Right.
per
Yeah.
day for your ticket. That's an insane price.
That's
So,
cool.
finally, I want to wrap up the Disney stories of the week where there's another Disney stage musical that you may have never had the chance to see, but now you can do it in your own home. And we will probably be doing this evening. I have a feeling we're going to continue our streak of from Hamilton to Newsies
Right.
and now to this one. This from the Disney Parks blog. You are invited to virtually step into the beautiful Walt Disney Theater for a special presentation of their Broadway-style production, Tangled, the
Nice.
musical. Yes, which
Yes.
we've seen on board the
Yes.
Disney Magic, and it's
Awesome.
it's gorgeous. It's spectacular. This was previously recorded with the original cast from the show's opening, so a couple years back when they
Right.
first started it. It's the story, of course, of Rapunzel and Eugene, and you can normally experience it, as I said, on the Disney Magic. It includes much of the music you know, plus a couple new songs from Alan Menken, and it can be found on Disney's YouTube channel if you're looking for it.
That's
So-
that's awesome. Like you said, we got to see it. It's really, really sweet. It's wonderful. And if you've never been on a Disney cruise, this gives you a little introduction of the type of entertainment that they provide, which is spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, the all their musicals, all their shows, Broadway caliber. I mean,
Right.
they're spectacular. The performers are excellent, and this is one. It totally, surprise for me, totally brought a tear to my eye. And I mean, I'm not spoiling anything by
Right.
telling about Tangled when the lantern scene takes place.
Yes.
It's so gorgeous and beautiful, and I don't know if they'll be able to capture it as much
Right.
as experience it when you're in the Walt Disney Theater, but it's just a wonderful, wonderful experience, and it brought me to tears for sure.
Yeah.
So
And they're set, not just the set design, but just how they are able to make it work on a cruise ship and how it has to be, flexible and yet still be just as impressive. And it hits all those marks for sure.
So good. Check it out. And you don't even need the other ones are on Disney Plus.
Right.
This is just, you just sign on to YouTube. So you can watch it on your phone. You go, well, you can't do that on Disney Plus, but you don't need a membership or a subscription to do it. You can just watch it on YouTube and
Yep.
you're good to go. So that's it for the Disney stories of the week. However, we never leave you without giving you some sort of tip that might help you on your next vacation, whether it be aboard Disney Cruise Line or at the Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland once it reopens, whatever the case may be. And we always start with Michelle, one, because she's the game show hostess with the mostest, but also because she has the very best tip. So let's get right to it. Here is Michelle's tip of the week.
Okay. So my tip has to do with restrooms.
Oh, good. That's important.
I know. It's a topic that I think a lot of people don't really bring up. But, again, we're trying to provide tips that make things better and easier and have a better park experience. And that's, one of the things that can really really impact a vacation for sure. And so I just wanted to talk about some things that you may or may not know about it. But, first of all is the parks do have what's called companion bathrooms. And these can be are really very useful for several reasons, and I think the most obvious that people think about are, when you have a guest that is in a wheelchair and they, especially if they need some assistance and you need some more room than what a typical even handicap stall is in one of the restrooms. This is, going to the companion restroom provides a little bit, a lot more space for that regards. But there's other areas or issues that you can use those restrooms for. One of them, for example, that we use them for the most, especially if I'm traveling with our son alone at the parks. He's older, and to bring him with me into a ladies' room is an awkward situation. And so it really helps serve that purpose that, the two of us can utilize that restroom for that. Another way that could be very useful is, let's say you're a dad and you have a young little girl that you're going with and may not feel comfortable bringing her into the men's room. Then this is another option that you can use the companion restrooms. You can find them on, maps on the Disney app or ask a cast member. But, if you have an issue that you feel like you just either need more space or going into a particular restroom might not feel comfortable, then those are available for you at the parks.
Well, yeah, we use them very often. Again,
Yeah.
our son, if you don't know, he has Down syndrome. So, while he is perfectly capable of using the restroom himself, he usually needs some sort of escort to kind of get him in and getting him around there.
Right.
And it does make it much easier for both of us. Definitely for you, so you don't have to try and bring him in the ladies' room, but even for me to kind of, coax him through the situation, just to, and
He's
monitor
big
him a
on
little bit.
washing his hands for a long time.
Yes. So
when is he coming out?
right, you want to be sure everything's okay. So we hit those up whenever we possibly can.
Right. And the other time that a restroom might really come into place that you didn't plan for is in line in a queue. And it could be yourself, or it could be you might be with a little one who you went to the restroom but earlier, but suddenly there's the need for right now. And, you can actually leave a queue and come back. There, some kind of, I don't know if they're published etiquette things, but, when you're leaving, letting the people know that you're going to come right back, that you just have to, go to the restroom, or, maybe you need something from, the stroller or whatever. You can also involve a cast member to help you. And generally speaking, people are very understanding. I mean, I think that's different than when you have like a party of 8 people and one person gets in line while everybody else is going to the restroom first and then cutting through. That's a little different. And I think a lot of people are not thrilled when that happens. But, if one of you, if you're a party of multiple people and one of you or most of you stand in line and one goes to take the child to the restroom, or you go to the restroom, that's not a problem. But, it's just, sometimes you just can't plan for those situations. And the last thing to know about too is that there is the baby care center, and that isn't just for babies. You might be, a father with a little girl or a mom with a little boy, and maybe the little boy doesn't feel comfortable going into a ladies' room. He might just be on that age group that you don't feel comfortable necessarily having him go by himself, but you want to be around. The baby care areas have wonderful restrooms. The toilets are lower for the kids, especially for toddlers, so it makes it a little more comfortable for them. It's a way to get out of the heat too. So, that's another option. But, just some things to, know in the back of your head that if you have, some unexpected needs for the restroom, or, whatever your situation is, that they do provide some resources to make your park experience still be great.
Yeah, great tip, great points. It's something you don't necessarily plan on,
Right.
but we all have to do it.
Right.
We all have to use the restroom at various different times, and especially kids. Kids will be like, nope, gotta go right now.
I know.
And
And I don't know if everybody has seen this, but where you're in the restroom and you see a mom bringing her little kid who just starts having an accident right there in the restroom. You're like, oh, you could have gotten there a few minutes earlier. And
happens to us all.
Yeah.
Happens to us all at some point. So it's,
and if that happens, it's tough, but it's still Disney.
it happens. Yep. Still Disney.
Right.
One of the reasons why to bring an extra pair of pants or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Just in case. You
Exactly,
never know what's going to
exactly.
happen. So
anyways.
Michelle's tip, always the best tip. Let's get to my tip quickly. I'm going to go back to the new Disney Cruise Line itineraries that were released this week, and you will be able to book them beginning this week. And if you're thinking about doing a Disney cruise, whether you have in the past or whether you never have,
Right.
I'm going to suggest to you that even if you're considering it, that you should go ahead and book when they become available, because the prices, generally speaking, now, we know these are odd times, and so things are a little different right now, but I'm just going to speak generally from what Disney Cruise Line is like. The prices are usually almost always never lower than they are the first few days they are released to the public, whether you have sailed before and you do get a little bit early access, or to the general public when it opens up on Thursday. Those prices are usually the lowest. The good news is that even if they don't end up being the lowest, you can always change it later up until the date of final payment, which I believe is 120 days out, I think.
So. Something like that.
So all you need to do is put a deposit down on it. It's, especially now, they're offering up some even more ease into canceling up to the last minute almost for you if you book these ahead of time. So as long as you have enough money for the deposit, which is fully refundable, by the way, up until, again, the final payment date. And again, they're also extending some certain things, knowing that they want to make people comfortable, knowing that with what's going on in the world, that you will be able to change things. But it's like I said, it's usually the best price right there. But if it changes ever, you can always just call up Disney or do it online and tell them, look, I saw that the price is lower. Can you cancel that booking and rebook me at this other price? And they will always do that for you. So there's no fear in that regard, as long as you just keep checking back on it. And again, like I said, you get your money back up until that point. If you decide for any reason to cancel up until that point, you will get your full deposit back. Now, I would also suggest to you that you may want, and we don't do this for our park visits, at least not to Walt Disney World or obviously Disneyland right around the corner. But we do often use a travel agent for Disney Cruise Line. One, they get that early access that maybe you can't get necessarily. But they're also just easy to function through. You do not pay them a cent. That comes from Disney Cruise Line or Disney itself. They pay them anything. So you don't pay anything extra on what you would normally play if you were to book it yourself. So why not take advantage of that? And oftentimes they will offer you a little something extra. Now, Disney Cruise Line doesn't give them some of the commission that they get from some of the other cruise lines. So usually the thing that you get won't be a huge deal, like we've gotten recently. Some like little flowers in our room. But we've also gotten at points like photo packages and bottles of wine and some other things, chocolate dipped strawberries, whatever the case may be. And again, you're not paying anything extra for that. Why not get a little perk? And then, especially if you're on the West Coast and you don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to book your cruise, they can handle it for you. If there are any changes to the pricing, like I mentioned, you can contact your travel agent. They'll handle waiting on hold for Disney to do that. So really, a lot of times, it can be true for many vacations, especially if you're not experienced with Walt Disney World or whatever. Again, you don't pay anything extra for a travel agent. There's lots of great ones out there. Go ahead and have them handle it for you.
That's a great idea. I mean, a lot of good things about your tip. So the first thing in terms of the issue of canceling and everything, I know that all cruise lines, but we're talking Disney, they want to make sure if somebody is sick that they're not coming on board. And so I think we're going to start seeing more and more that ability to have some last minute cancellations so that people don't feel like, wow, I've spent a lot of money on this vacation. I'm going even if I'm sick, even if that jeopardizes everybody else on the cruise. So it's great that they're doing that. Your other tip about the travel agent, and like you said, we have used it especially for our cruises. Especially if you're not going to or from the same location. Like if you're doing a repositioning cruise, they can really help make it easier to get back home or to go to another location. I mean, we've done that, especially like going from Vancouver to Victoria, and having that transportation totally arranged. We get off the cruise ship and know exactly where to go and get whisked to our next location.
Right.
So,
I mean, a lot of us like to look into things ourselves
Right.
and do the research ourselves. But if it's places you're unfamiliar with, a travel agent may have been there, or they know people who have been there, and they can help you with finding the best hotel, a hotel that's suited for you in some of these countries or whatever the case may be. I know transportation to and from these points, especially afterwards, if you are doing a transatlantic or
Right.
whatever, they'll help you in many ways. And again, doesn't charge you an extra cent.
Right.
This all goes to the companies that book through them. They're the ones that pay these travel agents. So why not take advantage of that when you get the chance?
Good idea.
Yeah. So that's it for this week's episode. Next week, well, it's summer, and even though some of us are having a really odd summer this year, but it is hot most everywhere in the country. Believe me, just a couple weeks ago, I went across the country. It was hot everywhere we went. So we're going to cool things down a little bit next week with a look at many of the water-based attractions you can find in Disney parks.
That's right. It's going to be a fun episode. Already started doing some research on it and looking forward to sharing some of those things with everybody.
Yeah, and some of them will be, obvious. There's obvious water-based attractions. Some maybe you not think that they're water-based, but when you like, oh yeah, that is a water attraction.
Exactly.
So that'll be a lot of fun. So we appreciate that you joined us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventurespodcast.com. And while you're there,
Sign up for the newsletter.
yes, please sign up for the newsletter. We have a lot of fun with you every single week on the newsletter. Just another way to kind of just be in the Hyperion Adventures. No.
Yes, you'll get to know first.
You'll get to know first. Another way to get in contact with us and follow along with us is on social media. We're very active on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. We are on YouTube. If you want to find mostly our videos are just these episodes, but you can watch us act like dummies as we're forgetting that we're showing our ignorance on trivia, whatever the case may be. You can find us just by doing a quick search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast on YouTube. And then while you're there, just hit subscribe and you'll know whenever the next video arrives.
Right. And the other thing we really appreciate is getting your feedback either through our email account or through a review, whether it be an actual review or star ratings. And most importantly is telling a friend about our podcast.
Yes, please tell friends about this show. Just tell them, hey, we love this show. Sometimes they don't seem to know as much about Disney as we think they should, at least Disney history.
Trivia,
but we still have a good time talking no matter what. And we hope that you're entertained by the fact that you're listening and watching or whatever the case may be. So please tell your friends. If you have the time, give us a rating. Even more time, give us a review. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, please hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
So that's it for this week. Thank you for listening to another Hyperion Adventures podcast. We look forward to sharing some time with you again next week. Until that time, I'm Tom.
I'm Michelle.
And we hope that you have a magical week.
Bye.